Yo, this is One Trey Tone. I'm about to perform on PGC, Pretty Girl Chronicles. My new shit, Stay Alert, off the Verified album.
Yeah. Turn the music up just a little bit. Pour me a little bit more Chardonnay. Yeah. Staring out my window. Puffing on the Zendo. Puffing on the endo. Yeah. Looking out my window, it ain't all sweet. Wish we could all come together, we could all eat. Yeah, right. But it's a lot of secret feelings, a lot of envy. Your closest people wanna see your pockets empty. Bro, they'll fake you and snake you and cheat on you. But when you make it, they'll break the neck to lean on you. Just a little, all I need, I ain't ballin' out. And you don't do it this time, bro, we falling out. Damn. What part the game is at? I ain't obligated, I'm a man, I make it crack. You're a man, you're grown, stand on your own. If you need my help, I don't mind a little loan. But I can't do it every time, I gotta handle home. I'm trying to execute a plan to buy some land to roam. And put some bands in my hand, that's why I handle those. Several hundred grand from investment plans when I'm old. Looking out my window, it ain't all sweet. Wish we could all come together, we could all eat. But it's a lot of secret feelings, a lot of envy. Your closest people wanna see your pockets empty. Looking out my window, it ain't all sweet. Wish we could all come together, we could all eat. But it's a lot of secret feelings, a lot of envy. Your closest people wanna see your pockets empty.
Who inspires me? I would have to say I draw inspiration from many people. Most definitely family members that are older than me, and musically I draw inspiration from a lot of the people that came before me that I grew up listening to.
Hey, welcome to Pretty Girl Chronicles. I'm Colie Rodriguez, and of course I'm at Coles Event Center, 2928 West Kentucky Street. This week I'm blessed to have a guest with me with Livin ENT. I got One Trey Tone in the building. How are you doing today?
I'm all right, hanging in there.
All right, hanging in there. Did you have a busy, productive day, or you was chilling today?
No, I did. I went to work today and wrote a little bit of music.
Okay.
Yeah, I had some things to do.
So you worked your regular job, and then you got off of that and you got onto your dream, right?
Right.
Because so many times we work our regular job and we don't make time for our dreams after work, right? We just spend all day clocking somebody else's schedule and making money for them. You have to remember to make money for yourself. So real quick, let's just get right into it. For the people who don't know One Trey Tone, tell them a little bit about yourself.
I'm One Trey Tone. Fuck with this hip hop shit. Been doing this for a long time. It has been a dream of mine, but more importantly, it's a passion of mine. Other than that, I'm just a regular guy, just a family man.
Family man, okay.
Staying out the way.
Okay, you say a long time. What's a long time?
I started rapping in 1989. So to me, that's been a little minute.
How old were you then in 1989?
9 years old.
9? Me too. So there's nothing wrong with that, right there.
Straight Outta Compton came out, and my young
changed your life, didn't it, when it came out?
Ears,
faded away when Straight Outta Compton came out. Yeah. Just took away your whole innocence and your,
what
everything.
The hell is this? What type of legacy would I like to leave? I would like to leave a legacy behind where people knew that I was somebody who gave a fuck, that I cared about other people, and that I cared about my family.
So you are a part of Livin ENT, right? Let's talk about that for a second. So how long have you been a part of Livin ENT?
A little over a year.
A little over a year? Okay. And how would you say that partnership is working for you?
It's working great. John's a hell of a guy. The team could be better. Everybody's focused, motivated. We all get along.
That's important, to have people who actually you get along with and want to be around and they want to see you win.
Absolutely. It's nice to have a support system and just a team that you know is going to show up and really care and give a fuck.
Show up and show out. That's right. So you're a hip hop artist, right? But do you like any other type of music besides hip hop?
Absolutely. I'm in love with music. Jazz, blues, country, classic rock, classical music. I'm just a music fan all the way around.
See, I feel like that way too. I think if people really opened their mind and listened to all of those different genres of music, they would actually find songs that they liked.
Yeah,
like you can't be closed-minded in music, right? Like you have to be very open-minded with the music, because I found there are some alternative rock songs or, you know, gospel songs or jazz songs that I'll play that and it gives me chills, you know, like it gives you a feeling. Like music gives me a feeling. Yes, music is my favorite thing, you know, that's why I do PGC, because I love music and I love the fact that other people love music and that they're creative and, you know, and that they want to share their gift with the world. So that's why I created PGC. I love music too, so I understand where you're coming from. I think about what's the one thing that I couldn't live without besides like my daughter and love, right, would be music. You know, like I love every day, like I'd be like, Alexa, play this, you know, or whatever, like it's every day.
Blind or deaf?
Like without blind or deaf? Oh my God. Well, see, my thing is I would have to choose
That's
deaf.
the real test.
No, but I would have to choose being deaf because I want to see my daughter. And to me that, you know, like after you have a child, things kind of change, you know. And we can still communicate, you know, if you know, we would still be, I didn't mean to do it like that because I didn't want to offend anybody, but you know what I mean? We could do sign language and we could communicate, but I would still want to be able to see her grow and see her get married and, you know, be able to do those things. But you, what about you? What would you pick since you?
I'm going to probably go with blind.
Really?
I don't want to picture a world where I can't hear the voice of my children or listen to beautiful music.
See, the only reason why I kind of picked that is because I have seen some people who are deaf and they can feel the vibrations.
Right.
Yeah, and so they know the beat and the melody and the tone, you know, like they could pick all that up, you know, and they'll be right there, you know.
Also read lips.
And read lips, yeah, and do that, you know.
Tell money and feel money.
Oh,
yeah.
That's crazy.
I had a dog back in the day named Baby, this is no lie, and she knew sign language. My uncle's best friend was deaf and he taught her sign language, so she would sit and come and like, you know, all those things with sign language. So I thought that was really dope to be able to do that, you know. For him. Okay, we done went on a little tangent. That's okay because you're watching PGC and I'm at Colie Event Center, 2928 West Kentucky Street. You know, mess with them. Sold out Saturdays, Friday, they have events. Anytime you see Colie Event Center open, you don't gotta think about it. You just gotta come.
A happy, successful life to me would be kicking it back on my land, in the country, in a cabin, away from the drama and the mess, with my family, raising my children and my grandchildren.
What's in your playlist? If we was to cut on one Trey Tones playlist.
Paul Hardcastle. You up on Paul Hardcastle? That's some jazz.
No, I'm gonna have that's some jazz. Okay.
That's some jazz. Most definitely got some Sharp Living ENT artists. Got a lot of local Louisville talent, but Goody Mob.
You got that old school Goody Mob in there.
Yeah, got that old school Goody Mob in there. I got some Waylon Jennings.
Okay, you got really a variety in there. Yeah.
It's pretty diverse.
Yeah. So what are you currently working on? Anything we can talk about?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Right now, I'm finishing up the process of getting everything mixed and mastered on 2 EPs that'll drop on the same day.
Okay.
One is called Viewcrest Drive, which is a street that I grew up on as a young boy. And the other one doesn't have a name yet. But Viewcrest Drive is more of a feel of just like what I got going on emotionally in my life and some things that went on with my family. And then
so it's more personal.
It's more personal.
Okay.
It's more personal, and but it's still relatable to everybody. You know, it's just
because it's probably situations that we've all been through, right? Or we
more,
know somebody that's been through it.
Just me being honest, you know. And then the other one is more of a feel-good vibe with some game from the streets mixed with just some knowledge about that I picked up along the way about how to better your life, because the streets is not the only way, for sure.
It's not. Like, there's a million ways to hustle, and people need to understand that. And like, people think that millionaires or all these people have money come by money by one means, I'll just say that, right? And that's not the case. Most of the time when someone is very successful, it's because they have multiple means of income. Like the average millionaire has 7 sources of income. So you can't think about it, okay, I only have that's because you have one source of income. Find 2 or 3 or another. I'm dead serious. Like,
Absolutely.
that's what I'm doing now. I'm working on multiple sources of income. So yeah, you have to get paid by more than one source. That's how you truly become successful. I mean, if you hit the lottery or something, that's different. But for real people, you have to have multiple.
You still have to be careful and maintain it. So you got to have a plan.
People don't understand that if you spend money and you're not putting money back in, you're gonna eventually. That's how they ended up having to sell like all 5 cars they had or the house that they had.
Keeping it is a little bit harder than getting.
Isn't that the truth? Keeping it is somebody. What movie was that where they said it was like, I'm gonna give you an A, but you got to keep it. Like keeping it A is harder than me giving it to you. It was some movie. I don't know what I said. Yeah. Okay. Let me see. So, if PGC could wave a magic wand right now, we could bring any artist for you here that you could work with, dead or alive. Who would that be?
40
Let me tell you, that 40 Water album got me through a couple of summers back in the day. At Sideways, I was man, all through the park and all types of stuff. I was sideways. I'm telling you right now, that album got me through right there. And let me tell you, I was such an E40 fan. When I was young, I used to weigh like 140 pounds. I would get T-shirts made that said Shorty 140 because I was such an E40 fan. Like, you have no idea. 40 Water was by. I used to get, back in the day when, airbrush shirts was hot, yeah.
Where do I see myself in 10 years? I'll just be blessed to be alive in 10 years. And I don't really want to predict the future, but I hope that I can see 10 more.
Favorite era in hip hop right now, if you could pick an era that you could be a part of, if it was the 90s or 2000, was it that I'm about to pull a kick though? Was it that era? Was it 2010? That Biggie era?
I guess if I could pick an era that I most envied, it would be the one before me because I didn't get to experience it. Although I
like you said, you started in '89.
Yeah, but although I was alive for it, I was too little, and plus my parents weren't on any hip hop. My father was gone, and my mother wasn't raised in a area where she would have even heard hip hop, because you got to remember, it wasn't mainstream. It wasn't on the radio. You had to know where to go get it.
And I remember thinking back when we were younger and how we only had like MTV, and like other stations, and when we finally seen like Video Soul and stuff, like we was
or when the box came.
Yeah, or the box, or Rap City or whatever, we were just like, wow, like that's crazy. Just when we got radio stations, where you could just hear somebody on the radio that was like you, or hip hop, or that was dope. So what's your pet peeve? What's something that one trait tone just don't jig with?
Punctuality. Whenever somebody says they're going to be there, or when they say they're going to do something, period, I always at first just take it for face value. I believe you. Yeah. Then when you don't come through.
Like, my thing is, if the person hits me up and they tell me, okay, hey, I can't make it, and that it's in enough time, I'm cool with that, because I feel like life happens every time. I'm not perfect, right? And just for them, something may have happened. Exactly. But 2 times, like I did. Like, you don't show up 2 times. I did 2 times. You don't show up 2 times, like,
Now you're running on weed, man.
You know what I mean? Like, if I give you one time and you give me, okay, I'm sorry or whatever, and then the second time it's still the same, then I'm cool on you. Like I'm good. It's no ill will, it's no bad blood, but I just don't try anymore. I'm good on it. It's okay. So, you're not single.
I'm not single.
I know he's not. That's why I didn't ask. Because usually I'm like, are you single? But I already know he's not. Right. So, married life. How's that treating you?
Great.
It's great. You love it?
Yeah, I love it.
Your wife is so sweet. She's a doll baby. And so, what's your ideal date that you would take your wife on? If you could have PGC unlimited black card budget.
The thing is about my wife is it wouldn't matter if I had the black card budget or what I got in my pocket on me. She doesn't. She's not extravagant. She doesn't expect a whole lot. So it doesn't take a whole lot to wow her. You know, she's just appreciative of whatever the thought was. But if I had my way and I had the black card, we're not gonna just do nothing. You know. I don't know, something out of the country probably. Something very romantic, you know.
Very islandish with like a beach and some clear water. I'm sorry, I went into my fantasy.
She would love that. She would love that, but I would probably end up being somewhere like rural Italy, you know, with some good wine from some local grown grapes.
She would probably like that too because they would probably have really
sure
good
she
food.
would.
You know, the food there would be, and she would be with you. I feel like as long as you're with the person you really want to be with, doesn't matter where you are, truthfully. And I only say like the black card and unlimited budget because when we first started asking that question, people would literally be like, okay, I got $32.50 in my checking account. So like right now, we're just going right down to 4th Street and we're going to get like TGI Fridays 2 for $20. And I'm like, no, okay, let me change this. If you have the budget, you can do whatever you want. Because people are thinking about their real budget. Like, well, I don't get paid for 2 weeks. So the way my checking and my savings, y'all remember that setup, the way it's set up.
The one thing I'm most proud of myself about is my work ethic. Doesn't matter what I'm going up against. I apply myself and I apply pressure and I attack it like a shark.
So what's one thing that you can't live without? Like clearly it'd probably be your wife or your family or whatever, but besides those given things, what is something that you just can't deal without?
My marijuana. I gotta have my reefer. That gets me through whatever.
I second that and third that and fourth that. All the way in the back. For the people in the back. No, I'm joking. Yeah, I understand that. I understand where you're coming from with that. So right now, if you could give somebody coming up, starting out in the game, a piece of advice, maybe something that happened to you, you overcame it, you found a better way to do it, what would that be?
It would most definitely be the same old cliche answer, just keep on going, because even the closest people to you, at least from my experience, they might not even know that they're bringing you down. They might not even know that they're discouraging you, but they are every time, you know, and you continue to try to share your vision or your dream with them, and it doesn't have to be music. It could be
anything.
Every time you have a dream and you try to share it with somebody, whether it's intentional or not, and a lot of times it is intentional, but not every time, they tear you down. And me anyway, if I'm honest, you know, it takes me back to the drawing board, and so many times I want to give up. But once you apply that pain to whatever it is that you're involved with, it's pressure. Sharking on it.
Right. I just say tell yourself that there is no such thing as that. So once I told myself that's not even an option, see, when you take giving up off the table, then you no longer even think about it. You know what I mean? So when I look at my table, giving up doesn't reside there. You know what I mean? So that doesn't, as far as when it comes to PGC and what I do here, you know, in my life, I'm always moving forward. I'm always progressive, you know, and I just look at life as my journey is not someone else's journey, and their timeline and time frame is not my own. And
or
once
their fears.
Exactly. Or their fears. I realize that people only want to see you get you know, to here, like your level of comfort. You know what I mean? Like once you move past their level of comfort of you, then they start to change. They always say, hey, the person who got the money changed. It's not. It's the people around them. Around them that change. They can't handle how you've grown and how you've changed and how you've succeeded. Okay. So we can go on there all night. But real quick, where can they find you at on social media?
Find me on Facebook, One Trey Tone. Find me on Instagram, the number 1, and then Trey Tone. And you know, YouTube, Spotify, all your music platforms, wherever you get your music.
Okay, well, thank you so much for stopping by PGC. You guys make sure you go out and follow One Trey Tone and you check out, get that verified, but don't go anywhere because up next we're about to get into Fishbowl Drunk Facts here on PGC.
Hey, what's happening? This is One Trey Tone, kicking with my people's PGC. Ready to get my game on playing Fishbowl Drunk Facts.
Hey, welcome back to Pretty Girl Chronicles. You know what time it is. We're about to get into Fishbowl Drunk Facts. And if you don't know what that is, it's PGC's version of Truth or Dare. So what's going to happen is One Trey Tone is going to pull one of these questions out of the bowl. And if he doesn't want to answer it, guess what, y'all? He's got to take a shot, right? So we're going to go ahead and get this started. Make sure you guys count how many shots One Trey Tone has took, okay? Go ahead and get one out, and then I'm going to read it off. You don't read it. Okay. This one's so funny. Demonstrate your sexual dirty talk.
Demonstrate my sexual dirty.
No one has pulled that question out in so long. Like, I legit have not heard that question in so long. Demonstrate your sexual dirty talk. Or you can take a shot. Taking a shot is an option.
No, it's not an option.
Okay, it's not an option. We've taken it off the table.
We're taking that off the table.
It's off the table.
That's like giving up.
It's like giving up.
We're taking that off the table. Sexual. Pardon me, but would you be interested in some cunnilingus? How do you say that?
That is correct. It is cunnilingus.
Cunnilingus.
And it is analingus and fellatio. Okay, those are the terms. Fellatio, cunnilingus, and analingus are the terms. He said, "Excuse me, miss." Pardon me. I legit thought he was about to say, "Do you have any grape coupon?" Like, I legit thought he was about to say that. Okay, get another one out. I'm not believing that's what he says, but you know, I'm a roll with it because that was funny.
I gotta keep that part, bro.
Yeah. Have you ever paid for sex?
I haven't paid for sex. I'm not into paying for sex. I'm not upset with people that do pay for sex. It's actually a requirement to even keep profitable sex going.
He said, "I'm not into that." That's what. What's your biggest fear?
My biggest fear is that I will fail as a father and as a husband, and that I will fail my guy. If I could give back, what would be a way I could give back? I do give back in several different ways, but I would like to be able to give back more monetarily. But I think we can all give back in different ways and in our own ways. But one way that I would like to be able to give back would be monetarily, money-wise.
Get another one out. I liked all that, everything all was. What's a hidden talent of yours? Something that nobody really knows that you're able to do?
I don't know if it's necessarily a talent. It's more of an interest. But I'm really into world history and U.S. history, and I spend a lot of time money taking trips and studying world and U.S. history.
Okay, what was the last thing that you studied?
Last weekend, or the weekend before last, I went to D.C. and I was at Ford's Theater studying the Lincoln assassination.
Okay. I be studying like ancient stuff. I be looking back like so ancient. I recently did my ancestry DNA, and you know it goes back like 18 generations in your DNA. Like I didn't know that. Like my homegirl, she told me, but you can have 18 years back, like in your DNA or something like that. It's a lot of years.
What you learn?
Well, of course I knew the obvious things, right? But like I found out I had some Persian in me. I would have, you know, like maybe somebody else was like, yeah, but for me and my family that I know, I would have never thought that. And I was messing with my dude, so now like every time we watch 300, I'll be like, my peoples, you know, every time we be on, I'll be like, that's my peoples right there. Y'all was fucking shit up back in the day.
My peoples.
You feel me? But so just something like that. And then I found out like I had some Cuban in me and I didn't know that, you know, or whatever. And then just a couple other little things.
I'm interested in doing that.
Yeah, I think you really should, because there's things in there that you have no idea. Like, trust me, there's things in there you have no idea. And you're way more things. That the grammar was terrible, but you are a lot more things than you think you are. Like, you're like, oh, I'm this and that. No, you're like 12. You know what I mean? You're like 12 things, legit smeared in there. Okay, get another one out.
All right.
Because I just keep.
What you doing, 23andMe?
No, I did the Ancestry DNA. Yeah. If you could go on vacation anywhere, where would that be?
To Champagne, France.
Champagne, France. Is that for a particular reason?
Yeah, I love champagne.
And the name?
That's my drink of choice.
Okay.
Champagne is only champagne if it's from Champagne, France. If it has the same exact ingredients and it's put together somewhere else, it's just sparkling wine. It has to be from Champagne to be champagne.
Well,
I would like to
look,
sip some champagne in Champagne.
y'all can take notes out there and write that down so y'all can tell somebody else like you was that smart, you was kind, you was important.
The best lesson that I've learned in life thus far would be to remain humble, because at any time you can, and most definitely at some point in your life, will be humble and knocked down a notch.
Do you think you're a good partner in a relationship?
Yeah. All right, baby. Yes. I think that. How about this? I think that I work hard to be a good partner in a relationship, and if you ever think that you've made it, then you'll probably start slacking.
Yeah.
So you got to continue. My granny told me it was 100-100.
Not 50-50, but 100 in. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
That way, whenever you're only giving 80 or 75, your partner
It's still giving the 100.
giving the 100. So you got 175.
Yeah, it's nice right there. I like that. Both sides giving it 100. All right, well, you made it. You made it through Fish Pro.
Okay.
Yeah, you made it.
I
You
made
didn't
it.
take a shot, and you made it. So real quick, if they want to reach you again on social media, what are your social media sites real fast?
Instagram, the number 1 Trey Tone, Facebook 1 Trey Tone, and then anywhere that you listen to your music.
There you go. And I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in to Pretty Girl Chronicles. I'm Colie Rodriguez, and of course, I'm at Cole's Event Center, 2928 West Kentucky Street. And I'll see you next week.